Howdy, travellers. I wasn't supposed to be here today, but fate took a peculiar turn yesterday. I thought it was just going to be a bog standard normal day. But when I got ready to go out in the morning for my exercise, the Honda bug hit me. To explain that, for a long time prior to me buying my new bike, I borrowed a Honda PCX from Tom, and it's a great bike. I got used to it and I really liked it, but it's got one fatal flaw in it. It has a keyless ignition, which under normal circumstances 99% of the time is great. But its Achilles heel is if the battery suddenly goes kaput on you, which motorcycle batteries can and do, or if I'm stupid enough to put it away at night and leave it switched on, which it's easy to do, I wake up in the morning with a flat battery. Well, what's the problem with that, you ask yourself? Well, where do you think the battery is in a PCX? It's under the seat. And when the bike's power fails, you can't use the lock to open the seat, so you can't get to the battery to charge it, therefore you're completely screwed. And if it happens while you're here in town, you really are screwed. Thankfully, it happened to me a number of times with the PCX, and only once did it ever happen while I was out, because all the rest of the times I'm pretty sure it was my fault and I went to bed and I just got back and didn't think too hard, went to bed at night and didn't switch it off properly, ran the battery down. Well, when I bought this Forza, basically the Forza is a large PCX. Instead of a 150 motor, it's got a 350 motor in it. It's just physically bigger, but design-wise it's almost identical, and it has exactly the same keyless ignition system and exactly the same weakness. And what happened last night? Yeah, I came back, I was in a bit of a fluster for one reason or another, and I must have left it switched on, because when I got to try to use it, nothing. And when you buy these bikes, normally you get a special little plastic key, which if you take a couple of bits of bodywork off the front of the bike, unsnap them, it's relatively easy. There is a recess underneath to put this plastic key, and you turn it and it releases the seat and you're in. But I bought my bike not from a dealer, but from a second-hand bike dealer, a second-hand bike salesman, and there was only about 500 kilometers on it. It was, to all intents and purposes, a new bike, but there was no bloody emergency key in it, so I couldn't get in. So I had to get Tom involved, and he came round and he organised a lock picker to come round. It cost me 300 baht, but finally he managed to release the seat. And I've been bitten so many times, I'm not paying for a new battery for this, so I've some time ago I invested some money in a smart battery charger, only a little one, but I had that, and that saved me the money for a new battery. So I put it on charge for about four hours, and this morning it was good to go, knock on wood. Well, it started up and got me down here. Let's see if it gets me home. Anyway, I was going to watch the Formula One race, but I felt like coming out for a beer as part of yesterday's stress. So, like, here I am. There's one or two things maybe on my mind I can discuss, but that was the first of them. Well, why do you bother, they ask. And looking at my viewing figures, I'm tempted to agree with them. You know, if I'm lucky to get sort of 20 views on most of my videos, so why do I bother? You know, I buy this equipment and I cart it around. I sit in a bar here looking like a plonker, talking to myself. Why do I bother? Well, I'll tell you why. The main reason is I've increasingly wanted to document my life. So the first couple of years of my vlogging was basically me walking around outside and moaning about this, that and the other. But I've been evolving recently more towards these chats, and I don't know if it's going to increase my viewing figures or what, but it's what I want to do. The last video I released yesterday was all about my favourite job ever, and so it was quite an in-depth look into the job at Sukhum Games and Astro in Malaysia. But I only ever scratched the surface of that. I've got loads of other photos and loads of other incidents I can tell at a later date. So really, I want to document my life, and also this is a way of talking to people as well. I mean, to all intents and purposes, I live alone, so there's only me to talk to, and I regularly do, believe me. Here I'm talking to my friends. Pardon me. I'm not talking about my Facebook friends or anything like that. I'm talking about the people I really know who watch these videos. But also, you know, I've got quite a few subscribers now who I don't know, but I'm assuming they subscribe because they at least got a tiny bit of interest in my life or what I've got to say. So I'm quite happy to talk to them, and looking down the lens of this camera here, it seems pretty natural to me. I'm talking to someone, so, you know, I'm quite happy, and it makes me feel less isolated, let's put it like that. So that's why I bother. I mean, if you don't like what I say, then fine, I'm sorry, but that's not why I'm saying it, if you like. Indeed, for the first couple of years of this, I never even switched on the ability for you to comment. I have done over the last 6 months or so, so now you can comment. I mean, if it's downright obscene, chances are the YouTube bots will catch it. But, you know, if not, and I see it, I'll delete it. But you're free to say, you know, I don't like what you're doing. That's fine. You know, I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. But you're free to comment that you don't like what I'm doing. Of course, if you do, then please say so. And I'm never going to say smash the subscribe or like button. I don't care if you do or you don't. So I'm not going to ask anyone for any money for anything or put advertisements in or anything like that. This is just me talking to you, whoever you are out there. So that's why I do it. That's why I bother. There's a little update. I ordered the lighting for my home studio. So it's all on the way. 3 lights. you know, a key light and a fill light, and a nice RGB light, which will produce some very nice coloured wash up the wall. So that's all due to arrive at the end of this month. So from there, if I want to do this kind of stuff, I'll do less of it in the pub here, which costs me a lot of money and a lot of waistline, and I'll do more of it at home where it's more controlled. So that's a little update. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have to replace these wireless mics. You will know the trouble I'm having with that. But right now, if I do the right things, I can get by for now with this Rode setup. It's a shame. It's really good quality and I like it. But if I can't rely on the receiver battery, that pardon me, then that's no good. And in the fullness of time, I'm planning to invest in a GoPro, a Hero 10 Black or a Hero 11 Black. I can do some really good stuff with that from my motorbike. So anyway, that's for the future.